Well, Mr. Kristel, when you watch that kind of scene and the other many more explicit scenes that appear in your films, what are your feelings? Do you feel a sense of pride or achievement at what you've done there?
On this particular scene or in general?
In general.
In general, no, I'm not very fond of watching myself. Because while doing it, it's never like the shown result. But seeing this, I must say, Borovchik did a great job. The photography is quite nice.
But do you feel any sense of people condemning you for appearing in this sort of film and that sort of scene and the other scenes that we can't show?
Well, of course, those who've seen only these kind of films, they will. But apart from erotic films, I've made some non-erotic films, who of course were not successful at all. And they'll condemn me for doing only erotic films. That's not the fact. My only successful films happen to be erotic. Nowadays, films are kind of more violent. If we talk about Emmanuel nowadays, it's like Alice in Wonderland.
But I suppose, quoting the argument of people who do condemn these films, they would argue that it encourages promiscuity and immorality and so on. Do you think it has no effect at all?
Immorality in what sense? I mean, if somebody thinks life is to exploit the utmost of pleasure, then I would say it's immoral because there's lots of other interesting things to do. I do agree with them. If they think the gestures shown on the film are immoral, I do not agree. Because it's never been violent, it's never hurted anybody on screen visibly. I mean, now I will cite a title. For instance, Lipstick, starring Marco Hemingway, was kind of more immoral in of idea than Emmanuel. You must not forget that the film was set in a tropic place. Bangkok, Bali, Hong Kong, Seychelles Islands.
What difference does that make?
It makes a difference that there's no local paper even, there's no television, no radio, there's nothing else to do.
But you can hardly excuse all your films like that, surely. I mean, the latest film is set in Paris. There's plenty of television in Paris to watch.
Yes, but this is another film. This is after the novel of André-Pierre de Mandiac, directed by nobody else less than Valerian Borovchik. I'm playing a part. I accepted to play a part. I do not obviously need to agree. There's of course lots of actors who are afraid to play the villain or the ugly person or the prostitute. I thought this time it was kind of interesting because it's about a man who has heard that his wife is dead, his son is dead, and he decides to live 3 days in Margin. He meets this prostitute who's not at all at her ease or fits in this kind of entourage in this brothel. And it's a kind of Marlene Dietrich stepping around in the halls of Paris, and he's a kind of obsessed. So he lives for 3 more days because he's going to kill himself anyway. It's a psychological drama for this man.
Well, you could call it a psychological drama or just an excuse for a lot of shots in a brothel.
About that, you should interrogate Borovchik. I'm now explaining my part. My part is there to be a kind of an illusion, a kind of a fata morgana in this film for this man. I could even be not true, just live in his imagination. And that's Borovchik's excuse, I'm afraid, really.
From all this, I gather, you do take this seriously, then? You don't look upon this just as a way of making money?
I have to. Otherwise, there's no point in starting the film. If I don't take it serious from the beginning, I mean, I would be a real prostitute just taking money because.
And yet, I think in 1 year you made 6 films, and you were quoted as saying that it was impossible to get into the character of every different girl that you play because they come and go so quickly. You are an instinctive actress, I think you said.
Instinctive in the sense of understanding the director, kind of adaptive to minds, maybe. And I must defend Borovchik more than the directors of the Emmanuels because they were about to make commercial films and Borovchik never was. Borovchik believed in this like he believed in Blanche, the Beast, or the Immoral Stories. And it was for him the impersonation, well, the film was the impersonation of his friend André-Pierre de Mandiac, who is highly romantic. And he had his excuses and I was pleased to serve him.
Sylvia Kristel, great fun speaking to you. Thank you.